Good evening, Norfolk. The countdown has reached 0. The time is 6 p.m. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the YMCA Norfolk Friday Feelings Podcast with your host for the evening. You have been listening to the Friday Podcast with the host with the most. From the countrysides of Norfolk, where the cows and pigs reign supreme, Charlie Wall and Rupert Appleton.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
A 6, 7, 8, 9. ABBA's the best. Smoking's bad for you. I want fish and chips later.
Good evening, Norfolk. The countdown has reached 0. The time is 6 p.m. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the YMCA Norfolk Friday Feelings Podcast with your host for the evening, Rupert Appleton and Charlie Wall.
Hello and welcome to the Friday Feelings Podcast. We hope you're well. I'm Rupert, and hopefully on the other end of the line we have a Charlie Wall. Are you there?
Yeah, how you doing? Sorry we started late. I'm on annual leave, so I kind of forgot a little bit.
Any excuse to have a holiday, really, and that's you. Where did you go on your holiday, Charlie? Nowhere. You're stuck indoors. So that's the Friday Feelings Podcast. We're trapped inside, and we have only one way to go, to the podcast. Welcome. Yeah, it's the 3rd of July. Welcome to July. Charlie, as this is the Friday Feelings Podcast, give us a little roundup of how you felt about June. How was it?
Oh mate, it was hot, horrible. I'm so glad it's over. Bad weather's here. Great stuff.
Yeah, sounds quality, mate. Sounds like you got a blast from the past in June, eh?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a good year. I mean, I was meant to be a download festival, man.
I was just about to say, yeah, you were meant to be a download. What's download, Charlie?
It is a heavy metal and rock festival dedicated to the best of rock on the planet.
Like ABBA, Level 42, all the classics, Billy Joel.
Yeah, you know, JLS, Hearsay, S-Club 7.
Don't bring that into this. I've literally just seen our viewer count drop because of that name. JLS. Oh.
How's your June been, Mr. Rupert?
Well, I was meant to get married. That was a flop. I was meant to go on holiday. That was a flop. And I got sunburn. And I got windburn, I'm sure, as well. Can you get any other sorts of burn?
You can get moonburn.
You can't. How do you get moonburn? What's that? It's not even a thing.
That's from Moonlight.
Is that when you... I'm going un-PC here. Is that when you moon someone and it like...
No, that's when you turn into a werewolf.
Yeah, mate, I'm Lupin.
You're Lupin, yeah.
Harry Potter reference.
Professor Lupin.
Well, there we are. So that's Friday Feelings, and that's it for today. No, Charlie, how's your week been? That's our classic question. How have you found this week?
It's been a good week. That's been quite an exciting week. So we've got a festival coming up. I know a lot of our viewers have probably seen the posters. We've got the August the 10th Summer Festival coming up. And I am one of the main people going around designing it, and I've been having a very good time speaking to a few celebrities that are going to provide us some lovely video messages. And I've been designing a really cool website platform. I'm just showing Rupert one part of it, and I think Rupert can agree it's looking very, very snazzy. It
is. I'm not going to lie, the website looks sharp. The special celebrity guest appearance is phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, we were caught in between who we were going to get, but we really nailed it on the head there. Celebrity endorsements, we've got loads of charities, and the website looks good, and I've seen the schedule as well. We've got lots of different workers and professionals getting involved. It's going to be a whirlwind of a week.
Guys, the tickets are free of charge. You can go on there now. All you got to do is go to the poster. I think the poster's been advertised on our Instagram, YMCA_youth, and I'm pretty sure it's been advertised on our Facebook page, which is hashtag YMCA Norfolk Youth. There's an Eventbrite link on there. Just click on it, get yourself a ticket, 100% free of charge. And the best bit is if you get yourself a ticket and you fill out that address form, you will get a resource pack delivered to your house before the festival, which will allow you to take part in a lot of more of the activities, like the crafts, or I don't know, maybe some of the workout sessions. You also get like a guide, like a booklet for the festival that you can keep hold of, that will show you what's going on day by day.
Emotional. Sounds class. Can't wait to get involved. Free t-shirt. And where do I find all this information, Charlie, just in case I didn't listen?
Go to the Instagram page, YMCA_youth. Go to the Facebook page, hashtag YMCA Norfolk Youth. Or you can go to our website, www.ymcanorfolkyouthsuite.org. Everything is on there as well.
We'd like feedback about our social media as well, so you can message us about that. Get on it. Our Facebook, Armbook, Twitterbook, Bebo Space, Your Space, My Space, Our Space. That's what it is, a community. It's nailed that, really, didn't I? Have you got any funny stories from this week, Charlie, or how have you looked after your health and well-being as you've had some days off?
Oh, let's have a look. Well, I had to go and get my car repaired. Nothing major, just had to get the wheel changed, but it was nice because I was able to go into Starbucks. Big round of applause to Starbucks, by the way. I mean, like, a lot of the shops have reopened, and one of the hardest things that they've all found is social distancing. Now, you've seen the news reports, Primarks have opened, and I don't know, JD Sports have opened, and everybody's saying nobody's following the social distancing guidelines. Starbucks went in there, standing there, somebody comes right up behind me, didn't even have to say anything. One of the employees walked right up to them, told them to follow social distancing guidelines. It was really nice to see.
When you say walked right up to them at a 2 metre distance,
yeah, within coughing
got
distance,
in their face.
she could have safely coughed, and they wouldn't have been caught. And she just big applause to Starbucks. I mean, there are probably other shops doing it, but that's what I witnessed, and it was really nice to see. Because there's nothing more. The most awkward thing I think people are finding now is when you're queuing for a shop, so someone stands a bit too close. I bet you there's a few people out there who've had that situation where you just sit there and you go, do I say something? Do I move forward? Do I attack them? What?
Do I run head first?
Yeah.
I think the best social distancing thing I've seen was on Norwich Market. Someone, I don't know whether they work for the council, they were in a high vis. Just means you're important to have a high vis and you stay well clear, basically. If you've got a high vis, the power is in your hand. The world is putty in your hands. They were in a high vis and they had a really long broom, handle-wise and broom head-wise. It was wider than it was about as wide as a double door frame. They were going along Norwich Market, just saying, social distance, excuse me, while I assume they were clean. They could have just been there, they really didn't want to touch anyone. But people moved quickly. It was either social distance or get swept off your feet.
Broomed to death. Do you know you said about high vis is people think you're important. There's a YouTube video you can watch about a guy. I think if you just Google high vis and ladder, and what he does is he literally wears a high vis and carries a ladder around, and he just gets into random locations like cinemas, theme parks, because people just let him in because they think he's a builder.
What? Are people not good at their jobs?
Watch this thing. They don't even check him. He literally just goes, "All right, mate," and they just open the door for him. And he just walks into cinemas and stuff.
How are the high vis underestimated, really?
Incredible stuff.
Yeah. There we go. Well, I haven't used the high vis. That's my funny story. I haven't done any exercise this week, apart from one session of yoga. That session of yoga has ruined me. I've been doing leg exercises and belly exercises. I nearly threw up from leg exercises, and I couldn't walk from belly exercises.
Wow. And the closest thing I've done to exercises recently was watch the Titans TV show hosted by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Wow,
The Rock.
Yeah.
What's his catchphrase?
Can you smell the chicken?
Can you smell what The Rock is? What? It's what you can. Move swiftly on. WWE knowledge is awful. If you're a wrestler, what would your thing be? Because every wrestler.
What, my special move?
No, not well. I don't know if you have a special move, but they have like a theme or a type, don't they?
Mine would probably be the video would be that scene in Bambi where Bambi's mum gets shot, and then I'll just I'll just point at the opponent and be like, "That's happening to you, mate."
So you'd go for like a wilderness hunter, a Hagrid style-esque.
I'd come in like Elmer Fudd.
Wow. I just want someone to be Batman, really.
They're just waiting for him to walk down the main stage, and he drops from the top and punches him in the head.
Yeah. I think his backstory would be just interesting because he'd just be tear-jerking the entire time, just awful.
Walk up to the other opponent and be like, "I'm going to turn you into Batman," and when they go, "What do you mean?" Bring his parents up and shoot them.
Okay, I was trying to avoid that. Okay. Wow.
Talk about good threat for a wrestling match.
Yeah. You just throw money in their face as provocative. I just don't need this money because I'm already minted, but I'm here anyway.
That could be the second Fighting with Family film.
Thanks with you, Big Dog. Well, we're doing well on the first podcast straight away. We're not red in the face. We're not a disgrace. We're here to stay. So we've had a good week, clearly. First 15 minutes is a write-off, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll edit that.
So we always go through the general COVID symptoms. Charlie, let's fire through this. If I'm feeling unwell and I think COVID, what am I looking out for and where do I go for support?
Temperature of 37.5 or above, You're looking at cold or flu-like symptoms. You're looking at a dry cough. You're looking at the loss of taste or smell. You're looking at fatigue, or you're looking at death.
We like to keep it light and breezy on this podcast. Yes, that is it. And if you've got any of these, we recommend you don't just turn up at the GP or hospital straight away. Give it a ring to 11 or go onto your doctor's website, and surgery phone as well. Give them a ring. Don't just turn up. And if you're in serious doubt, ring 999. That number again, 999.
And if you're unsure about that number, Google it.
Yes, Google 999 just to make sure you've got it right.
Yep.
So the lockdown rules, we've been through them. It's 2 meters really. That's what we recommend. The 1 meter rule is, it's what you make of it really. 2 meters and still, and just don't go outside is what we recommend, wouldn't we?
So basically, the government's saying if you're in a position where you don't need to go out, don't go out. But if you're in a position where you have to go out, go out. We're at a point in our lockdown where common sense is going to slowly start to overtake professional advice. Not because the professional advice is wrong, but because we are humans, and us as humans, we need to make decisions for ourselves. So as long as you are taking care of yourself and trying to do all you can to protect others, do well.
But Charlie, I might feel well, and I've just been in contact with a bit of COVID from a friend. I still feel okay.
You need to take. You need to be isolating for 7 days to 2 weeks because you might be asymptomatic.
Oh, asymptomatic. I hadn't thought of that word. What does it mean?
It means that you may potentially be a carrier with no symptoms.
Boom.
Yep.
Jargon. Busted. Smash that. Can I go abroad yet, Charlie?
Technically, yes. I think Norwich Airport's just opened up.
Indeed, I've looked into Norwich Airport, so coming on to that shortly. Don't you worry about it.
But there's what I would stress is if you're in a position where you're looking to go abroad, I would look at the country you're going at and look at their rules, because they're going to have very different rules to us. Last thing you want to do is fly to somewhere and then be put in quarantine for 2 weeks and you pay for a 2-week holiday.
I want to go to New Zealand, but I want to see New Zealand from the inside 4 walls of the worst rated hotel.
Well, there you go. And you also good bit of advice is web search the infection rates of the country you're looking at, because once again the rules are different. So they might have de-restricted their guidelines, but might still have a high infection rate, or you've picked a place where their infection rate is ridiculously low. So do your research. Just because the flight is cheap doesn't mean it's safe to travel.
Fake news is the thing, Charlie. I've seen loads of genuine articles about it. What has Google done to help you in fact finding?
They have made it so that all of the appropriate information is at the top of the search.
Indeed, and gov.com is also recommended.
.gov or .org are normally legitimate and reliable sources, but Google has done its best to make sure all factual information that is confirmed is in the top, in normally the first 2 pages of your web search.
Yeah, we're doing a bit of surveying for our website and things like that, and some of the questions I'm putting on there are: where do you get your news from? So Charlie, your news feed. That's a loaded question there. Where do you get your news from, Charlie?
I go down to my local shop and I just listen to everybody natter.
I like it. The bus shelter. That's a good place to hear them chin wagging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ironically, the bus is closed.
No, when the coronavirus first kicked off, I made a point of picking 3 newspapers, and that was The Sun,
Dead.
ABC.
What? What's that?
Is it ABC? ABC News. ABC News?
CBBC News. No,
CBBS. I did actually watch CBBS the other day. I made a point of picking free news websites and just watching them and just reading them. But then I also had to learn to understand how it was written, because a writer could write it in a way that could make you panic, or in a way that could be factual and informative. It comes down to the writing style of the person that's published the piece as well. So it's given me a chance to really understand.
advice, Charlie. Yeah, very strong.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, although we can recommend newspapers as being a good source because they have to be factually correct, each writer has a different style and is trying to get a different end goal out of it.
Correct. People can spin you a story in multiple ways.
Yep. They can have a glass half full, glass half empty kind of story.
Okay, well, that's not the news, but now it's definitely not time for news. We go into our favourite point in the game called I Must Ask You a Question. Hit it! Music.
There we go, music down, but.
So this is Rupert's favourite game, I Must Ask You a Question, the only game show based on my horrendous facial hair. It's not a beard. So, Charlie, I've got multiple cards. I've mildly prepped Charlie this afternoon. I've given him a list of things so you can have a chance. So hopefully we can do a bit of a quick fire round. For you at home listening, so you don't start shouting abuse at me down the line or text in some hateful messages saying, it's ABBA, they're the best band in the world. Only half true. So, Charlie, we're going to hit it and hit it hard. It's 6:22. Let's see how quickly we can get through these.
Come on.
You're a coffee lover. So there are 9 basic types of espresso-based drinks served in Starbucks. What are they?
You got an espresso.
Yep.
You got an americano.
Yep.
You got a latte.
Yep.
You got a cappuccino.
Yep.
You got a flat white.
Yep.
You got a macchiato.
Yep.
Cortado.
Nope.
Cortado.
Nope.
That's not on there.
Mate,
That
is that
is-
a new drink?
That's served everywhere. It's like smaller than an espresso, but just and stronger.
Sorry, I have date. Okay,
Uh,
fine, there's pay.
Well, that's thrown me now.
One espresso, what's 2?
What, a double espresso?
Yep. And there's one more, it's cold.
Cold? What, a cold brew?
It's just called iced. There's actually one more, and it's got chocolate flavouring twist.
Oh, a mocha.
Smashed it! Those are the 9/new 10 ones. Okay, what are the top 10 selling cereal brands in the UK?
You got Kellogg's, Frosties. Oh, Kellogg cornflakes.
Yeah, that's right.
You got shredded wheat.
Yep.
You got Cocoa Pops.
Oh, not good pops.
You've got Craves pillows.
No?
Oh, how many is it? 10.
10, you got 3.
You got Weetabix.
Yeah.
You got Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
You got
Come on, mate.
cornflakes.
Come on. What's
Go.
a happy wake-up call? It's another word for hello.
Oh, well, they're great. You mean?
Yep, okay, that works as well. Tony the Tiger.
But isn't he cornflakes?
No, he's great. He's called Tony. Come on.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
Okay. When you wake up in the morning, it's been a cold. There's like dew on the ground. There's not snow. There's a bit of ice. There's been a hard. Another character is called Jack.
Jack Frost.
Yes, and Frost.
What, Frosted Flakes?
Hey.
Yeah, but they're another cornflakes.
No, he's on Frosty, Tony Tiger. No.
Oh, God.
Okay, we've got a hooped-based item.
Oh,
That sounds friendly.
Yeah, not hula hoops. Hula hoops?
They're a crisp.
Honey, I know what they are. I can see the box. You're throwing me because you've had 3 different types of cornflakes mentioned.
Okay, mate, it's like a goodbye. They're like, it's like a friendly way of saying goodbye or hello. When you clink 2 beers together, you say
Cheerios.
yes, you do.
Oh, God.
Okay, and the last one are a type of oats.
What, porridge?
You can type there. It's got a specific name.
Muesli.
No, that's
Ready Breck.
no. If I'm cold, I shiver and I.
Die.
Okay. If I'm terrified, I something with fear.
Shiver. Tremble. Poo yourself.
Yes, then poo yourself cereal. Quaker Oats.
Quakers.
We'll do one or two more. 12 countries that have a population over 100 million people.
100 million or over, yeah?
Yep, 12 countries.
China.
Yep.
America.
Yep.
Russia.
Yep.
Um,
States, America, yep.
India.
America?
India.
Yep, India.
Australia.
Ironically below Australia, but that isn't true.
Is Australia one?
No.
Oh.
One's below USA, mate.
Canada. No, that's above Canada.
Come on, what's below? May.
I don't know. North America. Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico. You got Africa. Oh no, Africa's a continent. Kenya.
No. I'll give you one. It's not Nigeria.
Nigeria.
It's the only one.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh wow.
There's another one near India. It sounds like India. Yeah, it's a bit further, but
Sounds like India.
it's not really that close.
How many have we got so far?
Okay, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more.
Syria.
Mate, no.
Siberia.
No.
Afghanistan.
Okay, there's one really near India. Okay, so you've got Bangladesh.
Yeah.
You've got Pakistan.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got where Ronaldinho is from.
Oh,
Footballer Ronaldinho. Also, Philip Coutinho's from there. You've got Robert Firmino. You've got Fabinho.
Rio.
Fabinho. Sorry?
Rio's the city, isn't it?
Yes. Come on. What is it? Come on.
Brazil.
Yes, smashed it.
Which one of those sounds like India?
Indonesia.
Okay.
It's a bit loose, I'm afraid. And the last one is next to China.
What, Japan?
Correct.
Oh wow, I didn't think they'd have 100 million.
Okay, and the last one is there are 10 big cats on planet Earth. List them.
You got the African lion.
Okay, lion, yeah.
Jaguar.
Yep.
Tiger.
Tony to tiger, yep.
Cougar.
Yep.
Leopard.
Yep.
Cheetah.
Yep.
Are you accepting just leopard, or do we have different types?
You can have snow leopard and clouded leopard.
Okay, them two.
Yeah. Then you've got one really weird one called a caracal. I assume I'm pronouncing that correctly.
A what?
Probably not. A caracal.
Never heard of it. I wouldn't have got that one.
You've got one which you use under your armpits.
Lynx.
Yay! And that'll do us for I Must Ask You a Question. That's taken us a little while, so apologies there. But yes, you use a big cat under your arms. Right, Charlie, on to this week's news. Have you got any news articles for us? Interesting, quirky, or factually correct?
What, around coronavirus or just in general?
Coronavirus? Anything about that?
Yeah, we've got UK have created a term called localised lockdown.
Oh, the localised lockdown. Now, I think we're free, aren't we? Norfolk's not in a localised lockdown. What famous Premier League winning place is though?
Leicester was hit with a localised lockdown when they realised their R was above 1 on the infections. With them accounting for, like, what was it, 10% of all infections?
Statistics like that. I haven't got direct statistics. I wasn't going to talk about them. Thank you for bringing it up. But I have got that they were meant to go into opening on the 4th of July, just like everyone else. But they've now got very strict government parameters. Apparently the local council was in talks with Sage and the government, but now the government has just stepped in and said, no, we're putting our foot down. You've got to do this, this and this. So the local council have had their plans robbed out of their hands.
Nice.
So yeah, no shops will be opening. Well, some shops will be opening, some shops will be shut. Obviously, barbers and pubs will stay closed. And apparently the police are trying to enforce a New Year's Eve style approach. So all across the country, people will be out and about as if it's New Year's Eve. Pubs will be open.
Oh, what, tomorrow?
Yeah, so the UK has been advised that a New Year's style opening or gathering will happen, but Leicester has been told to expect this, but be on high alert and patrols because people want to be out and about, but they won't be allowed to. Apparently one of their local parks has been hit with high numbers and concentrated gatherings bigger than Bournemouth Beach that we had last time, and apparently even looking like they are on a protest in some parts of the world. We're not knocking protests, but we're saying that they can be spreading COVID.
Yep.
So Leicester is in a bit of a lockdown.
Leicester is essentially following the same issue as the Simpsons movie.
Indeed.
Just need a big dome to go over it.
Dome. We're trapped like rats or carrots.
Rats don't really get. They have the ability to chew through most objects, so they can't really trap a rat.
Trap a carrot though, can't you?
Oh, I don't know.
But yes, we're doing well.
Right.
We have also got new guidelines about all schools going back in September.
Yep.
Woo! So apparently, if you miss school, you would obviously be fined, and that's normally up to the government on schools' discretion. Apparently, they're going to give schools more of a discretionary approach for when kids don't go back because of families isolating and shielding.
Yeah, I mean they're going to have to be a little bit more lenient because these are new times.
Yeah, but in the update, the education sector really want people to go back ASAP. But September is when all young people will be said, please go back to school because of the backlog of information and education. For other people, just going through some quick other news before we get on to the bigger things, car MOTs will be coming back to the 1st of August, so get yours involved, tell your parents, get them involved. People who are worried, 1st of August, you've got some grace periods about that. We've got apparently people arriving in England from over 50 countries, which is exciting, as quarantine from the 10th of July and the Department of Transport has confirmed they will be easing down parameters.
Okay, that's good. And if you're listening to this and don't take away from this that they're just letting people in without checking them, we will still probably have thermometer checks or checking their temperatures and stuff like that. It's not just going to be a case of we're going to go from quarantine to nothing. There will be different stuff in place.
So different countries have different isolation periods. They still have testing, and you'll still need to be given evidence of where you've been, who you've been in contact with. They interview basically, and depending on where you're coming from, which sounds negative, but it's just on a controlled basis, really. They're not sending people back yet, as it were. 188 countries have now been affected by coronavirus.
It's a big old number. Especially in 108 countries.
Up to 188. They've had people coming. In some places have been on lockdown, and they've had people come into the country and then sent them away or in isolation. So it's 188 countries who have seen a COVID case. That's not people who've been infected in the country. So big number there. And 11 million cases have been recorded. Now that's a general stat. Different websites have different things, but 11 million people. That's a lot of infection. And
that is the stat of that's not. If you're watching this in a week's time, it's probably going to be a different number. Okay, so this is the numbers as of the 3rd of July.
Indeed. Would you like to know, or do you think it's helpful to know how many people have had it in Norfolk, Charlie?
Like everyone.
Apparently, I think it's about 3,000.
Is that taken into account all care homes as well?
I'm not sure, I'm not going to lie. I googled lots of different figures and there was a massive backlog of different information. I don't think it does. I think that's in general circulation of a general population of around 900,000. Just Googling population in Norfolk was struggling, mate. Honestly, websites are just awful. This is another good instance of where you should fact check what's going on. Whether that's aimed at myself or not, I don't know. But evidence-based. Have a look at the date of the website you're reviewing. If you get your information from Facebook newsfeed, don't.
I mean, the good news is at the moment, East Anglia seems to be, I mean, in terms of other areas in the country, we don't seem to have such a huge infection rate compared to other areas.
Well, what happened in Holt this week, Charlie, do you know?
I don't know, flash flood, fire.
Just flash.
I'm assuming something. I'm assuming it's something bad because it's 2020.
Yes, it was, unfortunately. It is on the script, but that's fine.
Is it? Hold on, ask me again in 5 minutes.
I love it really. So in Holt, Budgeons, the closest supermarket for 11 kilometres, has caught fire and been burnt to the ground. No one was harmed because it happened late at night, but lockdown has not hit it hard because they've been doing delivery services, support services, and community support, and staff have been excellent. Staff members have been there for 15 to 20 years, I believe, and the 30-year supermarket has unfortunately burnt down.
Yeah, wow.
Horrible show because the nearest one is in Sheringham.
Budgeons is a good little store as well. I've been to
think
Budgeons.
they've got well over 100 stores.
It's a good old store. I like it. You get some good stuff in Budgeons.
I like their fresh cakes and pastries.
Yeah.
The last thing I bought in a Budgeons singularly was a butternut squash. There's a fun fact here.
Proper job.
Indeed. Okay, we've got... What's next? Let's talk about holidays. Norwich Airport is now open for business. Woof.
Yeah.
The only flight I can find out is Tenerife. So, if you're in Norfolk and you want to go on a Norwich airport holiday, you can go on a historical cultural visit or a lad's holiday. That's it. The tiny island of Tenerife is one place that is opened up recently. Spain is the only one I can really find. There's one or two places. And they only fly on Fridays for commercial flights currently on the two companies that I found. More will open up really, really soon. But Norwich Airport is open, and so are other airports. You can start looking abroad, but the government advice is still to stay at home.
Because I'm now looking on their live arrivals and departures.
It's awful. It's like Aberdeen.
There's two things, and they're both gas platforms for helicopters.
There we go. So if you fancy a trip to see what a real oil rig is like, book your flights now. The trade is alive and well.
Oh.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Kudos to our offshore workers, obviously. Okay, so where do you want to go on holiday first, Charlie? That's the question. Where will you be flying when the lockdown lifts?
Don't know. I mean, when lockdown first hit, I'm not going to lie, I started doing research into China because I assumed that holidays to China would be at an all-time low because of this.
Is it all-time low a JLS song? Are you just mocking me?
No, all-time low. All-time low, I'm pretty sure is a rock band, isn't it?
Mate, if you bring up JLS one more time,
it's a rock band. All-time low, really good rock band as well.
I don't believe you.
I'm just checking.
Okay, right, let's move on. Gaming, Charlie.
Yeah, look, flights to China, £351 return.
Wow.
Do well.
Wuhan.
Yeah, maybe. Where? Maybe, yeah.
Safest place to be, probably now.
I was wondering for 271 with kayak. Do well.
There you go, mate. I heard their fish market's quite good this time of year.
Yeah.
Mate, PS5 and Xbox have thrown open the floodgates and registrations for their Christmas consoles. Have you seen these, Charlie?
Yeah, I've been doing the research on both of them.
Come on, Charlie. I'm a PlayStation fan. You're an Xbox fan. Give us the download.
Neither of those matter. There's another console coming out that is more important than any of those.
Is the Nintendo Wii getting a remaster?
No, even better. The KFC are releasing their own games console.
KFC?
Yeah, jump on Google, search KF's console. It's basically a gaming PC with a built-in heater where you can store your chicken.
I can't go with that. What is that? That sounds like salmonella waiting to happen.
Mate, it's the dream console.
So does it keep your chicken at a warm temperature?
Yeah, it's got like a grill in there, so you put your chicken in, you just close it, and then while you're gaming, it keeps the chicken hot, so you can snack on your KFC while you're gaming.
Absolutely revolting. That is dire.
I mean, ultimately, I'm going to be going for an Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
There's not much in it. In terms of specifications, they're almost identical. I think the PlayStation is going to announce something more over the next couple of years because they're there's I don't know, they've fallen behind Xbox on some of the expectations. Nothing major. I think they're going to be playing catch up.
Yeah, I think it's true. Unbelievable stats, unbelievable ray tracing. All this 4K, 200K.
It's ridiculous some of the specs that you can get now.
So I know that the PlayStation 4, when it came out, had a certain spec, and the PlayStation 5 is 180 times more powerful.
Yep, and they're estimating that consoles are going to cost between £500 and £800.
Oh, I heard it was slightly lower, actually. I heard it was slightly lower. For the PlayStation, I think it's a bit lower. But I think the specs are slightly worse.
Yeah.
When I say worse, they're still disgustingly high.
Yeah, no, in America, England, you're looking at about $449 for PS5.
Yeah.
And an Xbox Series X.
But apparently they're coming with a disc drive, or non-disc drive, and purely digital version.
Yep.
What would you go for?
Well, I like cross-platform or backwards compatibility, so I'd have the disc drive so I can play the old games.
Too right. There's a frustration that they've missed out on previous games on PlayStation, but PS5 are bringing them back.
Yeah, no, you're looking around about £500 for the Xbox and about $450 for the PlayStation 5.
Indeed. I'm excited about it. Whether I'll get one or not is not the same.
I'm going to get one. I always get one.
Top man. Any games you're looking forward to that you like the franchise of?
Halo.
FIFA. I heard you're a big FIFA fan.
Halo.
Hello, what do you want?
Halo Master Chief. That's what I'm looking forward to. Haven't seen him for years. It'd be nice to see what they release.
I'm a fan of Ratchet and Clank. Can't wait to
wow. Yeah.
There we go. I would ask you some football questions, but we did well last week. We'll skip it this week, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you about loot boxes. Now, there's been a lot of debate about what loot boxes are and how they manifest in gaming. But what I can say is that loot box revenue has shot up in lockdown and over the last year, potentially earning a 35 billion annual revenue. 43% of gaming marketplace revenue has come from marketplace value skin. Marketplace skin income revenue alone. And that's just on the potential to get skins.
So for the people out there who don't know what loot boxes are, you got games like, you got things like Fortnite, you got Apex Legends, you've even got FIFA actually, that have these features where you can use real money to purchase either in game currency or these things or these packages. So we call them loot boxes as a overall term, but they're called different things. Now, when you purchase one of these, you open it up and you have you have a chance of getting certain items. So you're not guaranteed. It's a complete risk, a gamble. It's called a gamble essentially. So you're spending £5 or £10 on a loot box, and you're running the gamble of getting a really good item or not. Now the issue is that I was researching this for the lockdown. Is the Gambling Commission or whatever they're called. The reason they haven't yet classified it as gambling is because underneath the terms of gambling, there has to be a financial return for the gambler, which there isn't in loot boxes. So the first argument is that we need to change how we classify gambling and what we
Indeed.
So what they're trying to, because the issue they've got is that there's numerous case studies that show that young people are becoming addicted to these things. I mean, people spend hundreds of pounds on FIFA boxes, Apex, Fortnite, because they're after specific items that in game are worth lots of money. I mean, I think on Rocket League, there's skins you can get that are worth in real money about thousands of pounds. Indeed.
So Steam, the wonderful platform, their marketplace or community platform marketplace is apparently the worst for this in the highest value selling items going for, in some cases tens of thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I was reading some different marketplace research, and the odds of getting the rarest of items are disgusting. I think it was FIFA or another one, but one singular card, the odds of getting it, they stated were, you had better chances of winning the national lottery that week than getting this one FIFA player.
And the thing is, the enticement to do it. So, like if you think of when you say gambling, you think of roulette wheels, you think of I don't know, poker, you think of those machines, you think of horse racing. But the loot boxes are designed to look like just a normal part of the game. So if you're not up to date on your gaming, and you went into something like Fortnite, you wouldn't think anything of it.
Indeed, it's basically buying. You can classify it to, I'm going to buy some Pokemon cards as a booster pack. I don't know what I'm getting, but I hope they're good. But there's a much bigger enticement, numerical value, and it's too easy. There's too
many case studies of children spending hundreds of pounds on these things. In some instances, using their parents' credit cards without them knowing. There's just too many instances of this. It's also a big issue around bullying as well. Or mockery or whatever, or harassment, or because the like Fortnite's a good one. The way your character looks determines on how good you are at the game, as well. So if you don't have a nice looking character, you might get mocked for it. So there's the peer pressure of needing to have a good looking character, or having a good football team on FIFA, or I don't know, having. I think it's called heirlooms in Apex Legends, so that way you look like a good player.
Indeed. It's unbelievable. So they derive loot boxes, or categorise them in different categories. So you can get single player modes, multiplayer modes, or boost XP boosters, levelling up boosters, in-game beneficiaries. But skins is the one that, it's just how you look. It's not, I can play the game better, I can access the game better. It's all about looks. It's all about a mental body image. Ooh, that's a low one.
On the other side of the coin, gambling is a risk in the sense that the only way you can get what you want is by playing the game. Now, if a game, for instance, Apex Legends now, they've adopted a feature where you can either go through the loot crates and try and get it, or they have it pop up in their marketplace and you can just purchase it outright.
Worry, isn't it?
And that's where it starts getting a little bit tricky, because if you're in a position, it'd be like somebody going, you could either go to the shop and buy this Haribo sweet, or you could buy the mystery box and potentially get a Haribo sweet.
I wouldn't enter a mystery box to get Haribo sweet, I'm just saying, but I like the idea.
Yeah, it's a very confusing thing. And then, of course, if you do make it gambling, how are they going to regulate it?
Indeed. So they're looking at change. They changed it in 1998. They changed it in 2005, and they're looking to reinvent the wheel with it. Really, European countries have actually banned some loot boxes and banned games as well. Much like different apps are banned in different countries. I think India has just banned is it TikTok and a few other places.
But they banned TikTok because of its relation to China.
That is true. But different points still stand. Includes, you need to know what content is being published, and you need to know what risks are. Apparently, during lockdown, 55,000 people, over 55,000 people in the UK, have said to have repetitive purchases online, and they would class them, if they were on a company such as Bet365, as repetitive gambling problem people. That's a poorly phrased words. And get the age of those 55,000 people who would have otherwise been classified as addictive gamblers were between the ages of 11 and 16. 11 to 16-year-olds. 55,000 young people have apparently got gambling addictions during or since lockdown, spending hundreds of thousands of pounds, we can only guess. 55,000 people.
It's a big old number.
Actually, unbelievable. I kind of think it needs to change, or we need to do something about it, because you could just buy it so easily. Every game that I think I look at, you have in-game purchases.
I remember back in the good old days when you couldn't buy stuff online, and you'd have to go into your local game and pick up one of these little cards with a code on it,
yes.
And then your mum would have to, or your dad, or your brother, your sister, or you'd have to wait for your birthday. It might just be a case you have to go back to that. Yep. Purchase the code.
but order it off Amazon, things like that. It just becomes so frustrating, isn't it? Did you know that you used to be able to buy ringtones in local phone shops?
Yeah, it's got monophonic and polyphonic ringtones. When I used to have a Nokia 3310, there used to be a setting where you could program your own ringtones, and I used to go on the internet back on the dial-up and download the codes. So because I used to code in the ringtones for like James Bond and like, I don't know, Simpsons, and then I'd go around my school and for 20p I would install a ringtone on your phone by coding it into your phone. It was
entrepreneurial ship at its youngest.
And then they upgraded phones, and that made me obsolete. Stupid Nokia.
Well, I'm very well. You've entered a good trade, Charlie. Don't you worry about it. Lots of different apps have increased as well. Okay, I haven't fact checked all of these. I've just got them generalised 2 websites just to sort of give it across and done on average. I think TikTok was in January for 5.4 million users, and now is at 12.9 million users.
Yeah, and it's got over 1 billion downloads.
Yeah, House Party, the Quizzy Rascal app, grew from 175,000 adult visitors to over 4 million.
Yeah.
Wowee. Zoom, the virtual meeting platform, was at under 1 million people of users, and now has 13 million. From under 1 million to 13.
Yep.
Wow. That's been Zoom.
And speaking of social media, Facebook has begun losing a lot of its financial backers, like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was the latest one to pull out, because there is a big push on removing fake news from their website and fact-checking.
Very strong. Very strongly agree with that, to be honest. Couldn't agree more. And Twitch has seen UK visitors increased from 2.3 million to 4.2 million.
And do you know what helps that?
Following our content.
In the latest news from last week, Mixer, which is the direct rival for Twitch, it is Microsoft's online gaming streaming place. They hosted people like Shroud, who's a famous Apex player. You got Ninja, who's a famous Fortnite player. Mixer is being shut down.
Oh,
so
really?
All of these thousands and millions of streamers and millions of viewers from over there are all now coming over to Twitch and YouTube gaming. So if you are a low skill Twitch streamer, expect to either have some more viewers or have less viewers due to the celebrity streamers coming over.
Yeah, boost your content. There we go. Apparently, mobile gaming. Apparently, 35% of people game or use Twitch on a game while work. Oh no, 30. Sorry, when gaming, 9% of people do it when working. 10% of people do it when travelling. 23% of people do it while eating, and apparently 35% of people do it while watching another media device. Charlie, do any of these fit you?
Whilst watching another media device, I game.
Do you?
Yeah. I game at work. No, I don't.
You game for work? Let's clarify.
Yeah, I game not at work. I can't game while I'm travelling because I'd end up in a write-off or death scenario with my car would crash.
Pokemon Go while driving. Yeah. Swerve that.
And I've been brought up to watch TV whilst I eat dinner. That's a routine from the 90s. Can't change that.
Classic. Yeah, I don't do it while watching TV, but I do it while travelling. I can't multitask, but I like, as you would, play your Pokemon on Game Boy or DS when travelling in the car.
Play your Pokemon.
You'll be catching them Pikachus all day long.
When it first came out, I used to go out to like 2 a.m.
No, it's all about... When night hit, it was terrifying because your Game Boy wasn't backlit. What you used to do?
There was more Pokemon trainers than homeless people in Norwich at one point.
I'd say that's a really good statistic. I'm not going to knock that. So there we go. Wonderful. Well, that brings us to the end of our debate. We don't have another game. So, Charlie, as we're on Twitch, shall we promote our services?
Yeah.
Your time to shine.
Go, guys. If you're watching and you can see our video feed, you can see we've got 4 different platforms. You've got twitch.tv/YMCA Norfolk Youth, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. till 8 p.m, Friday 7 p.m. till 8 p.m, come and join us for the gaming sessions. If you don't have an Xbox but still want to participate, go to twitch.tv/YMCA Norfolk Youth, and you can join in the chats on there. If you have an Xbox but you don't have Xbox Live, drop us a message on Instagram or Facebook, and we will give you a free 1-month Xbox Live code, completely free of charge. If you want to take part in our weekly devotions, weekly challenges, or just get updates in general, go to our Instagram and our Facebook. Instagram is YMCA_youth. Facebook is #YMCA Norfolk Youth. If you're in a position where you struggle to go to multiple websites, it all gets a little bit jargony, blah, 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 blah. We've got a website. It is www.ymcanorfolkyouthsuite.org. This is a membership-only website, completely free of charge. It takes 10 seconds to make a membership. Once you're in, you have access to everything, including the Friday Feelings podcast and members of staff. Added to this, we also have the Monday to Friday instant messaging service. If you're struggling during this lockdown or struggling overall, don't hesitate to drop us a message on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, or the website. We are here to support you. And then, of course, keep an eye out for our festival. We have 2,000 tickets. Book yourself a ticket, man. Get yourself a resource pack. Get yourself involved.
Wow. And I didn't even write that as a monologue. So, wow, you've done that very well in a very short space of time. So, yep, tune in, follow us on social media, get involved in our summer plans. That's our plan anyway. Plans galore. Well, that's the Friday Feelings podcast. I'm looking forward to my weekend because I now have 9 days of holiday, but I will be back just as Charlie has been for the Friday Feelings podcast. What would this be without me? Nothing. Thank you for your boost of confidence, Charlie. My head can now not fit through any doors.
No fish and chips for you.
Mate, I'm so hungry. That is the Friday Feelings podcast. I think we're going to be on Twitch. Are you going to come on to Xbox for 45 minutes, Charlie?
No, I'm going to go and enjoy my holiday. I'm going to go to the kitchen, then fly to the kitchen, then fly to the garden.
Well, I'm on Twitch anyway, so tune in, live stream, we're there. See you soon and have a wonderful weekend, people.
Hoodles!
Friday Feelings podcast. See ya.
You have been listening to the Friday Podcast with the host with the most. From the countrysides of Norfolk, where the cows and pigs reign supreme, Charlie Wall and Rupert Appleton.